Hello everyone, welcome to TestNG tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how you can externalize data providers from your actual test cases. So in this particular demo that we have seen in the previous tutorial, you can see that I have included the test cases. So there are two test cases along with the data provider in the same file, which is data provider demo test. Now in the actual scenario, you will be most probably externalizing this particular data and won't be mixing your test cases along with the data provider. So how you can prepare one single file for the data provider and then use it in your test cases, that's what we are going to learn. Because this if you are maintaining separate data providers for each of your test cases, that becomes really tedious work to basically maintain the test cases and the data provider that are linked to that particular test case. If your data is at one centralized location, it is easier to manage. So what we'll do is we can create one single file for only data provider, and then we can simply move all this data provider that we have into that particular file and reference that file from our test case file, okay, or test class, that this particular class. So let's see how it is done. So I'll create one class here and we'll move the data provider there. So I'll say data provider demo, okay, and here all the data that we'll be using in our test cases will be available in this particular class. Right now, from this test case, what I'll do is I'll remove the data providers. Okay, so I'll just copy or cut the data provider from there and we'll use data provider here, okay, and save it. All right, now here we have the data provider. So we have two data provider here, one with the name create, and second we haven't named anything, so the name of the method will be used, which is dataset. Right now, if I have to use these data providers in our test case, now if I simply run this particular test case, now let's see what will happen and see how we can fix these issues. So here you can see that it's a failure, and the failure is because it cannot find any data provider. Right, so this failed because there is an exception and it requires the data provider named dataset, but it couldn't find that, right, because I have moved that data provider out of this particular file. So how we can access that data provider? So in TestNG there is an attribute that you can use, or argument that you can use, which is data provider class, and you can specify the data provider class name wherever your data is. So what you can do is you can simply say data provider class, okay, and then you can simply say name of the class which has your data. So the name of the class which has our data is data provider demo. Right, so I can simply say data provider demo dot class. All right, so now this particular test case will be referencing this particular file, okay, and now this test case should run successfully. What about this particular test case? Would this run? Let's execute this and see what happens in this case, whether both of the test cases run or there is a failure. Okay, so you can see there is first test case got executed successfully. Right, so the test got executed, but test 1 failed because there is no reference. In this particular test case, we haven't provided the reference of the data provider class. So it is mandatory for the test cases that are there in your test cases to provide the reference of the data provider class that you have externalized. So in this case, we have to simply add the data provider class. All right, comma separated, and that's pretty much it. And now if you run, both of your test cases will run successfully, and you will be able to execute the data. So this way what we have achieved is we have externalized our data from the test case into an external data provider file, right? Now here if you see I have created multiple data providers. So for example, you don't want to create multiple data provider based on certain conditions. Say for example, there is one test case which requires 2 arguments, okay, so username and password, and then there is another method which requires 3 arguments, and then there are another method which requires 4 arguments or 5 arguments, and you don't want to keep creating different data providers for the methods to accept different arguments. Okay, so what we can do here is we can simply say remove this particular data provider, and within the data provider we can simply use the if else condition, and based on the if else condition we can specify what method will be using which particular data. In order to achieve this, there is a overloaded method for this object array. So what we can do is we can simply say method m, okay, and if you hover over, you will see java lang reflect. Import this particular method, and then we'll use the if else condition, and based on the if else condition we'll return the appropriate data that is required for the test method. So for example, if your test method requires 2 arguments, you return 2 object array with 2 arguments, object array with data with the 2 arguments, and then if your method accepts 3 or 4 arguments, you return the data accordingly. So in order to do that, what we simply need to do is we'll just first define the object array as null. So we'll simply say object and give a name to the object. So we'll just say test data, and we'll define that null, and then based on the test case name, right? So we'll use the if else condition. So we'll say if, and then because we have overloaded this method, we can use the methods that are available in this particular method, so in this particular class. So m dot, and then we can simply say get name, right, and then dot equals, and here what we are trying to compare, we are trying to compare the test name, right? So the method name for the test. So if we go to this test file, the method name for the test is test and test1. So if it is if the method name is test, then this accepts 2 arguments, username and password, and if method name is test1, it accepts 3 arguments, right? So we have to define the same thing with if else condition in our data provider, that based on the method name it should return the appropriate data. So if the method name is equal to test, then what this will do is just create the new object and assign it to test data, and because method name test accepts 2 arguments, we'll change it to, so the data won't be having 3, we'll simply remove the 3rd from there, okay, and then else if, and then again m dot get name dot equals test1. In that particular case, we'll simply return the test data that accepts 3 arguments there. Okay, so because the test1 method accepts 3 arguments, we need to provide the data which has 3 values in it. Okay, so we simply need to add here the 3rd value. So we'll say, all right, so just copy that and we'll add it in the other lines as well. All right, so here let me change it to 1, 2 and 3 so that we can see that. Okay, and once we are done with that, what we need to do is we simply need to return test data, right? So we'll simply return the test data, and there looks some error here. So okay, semicolon is missing here. I'll just add that error is gone. Yeah, okay. So now let me save this particular file and go to data provider demo. So the data provider name here is create, right? So now we have just single data provider in this particular file, and this data provider can be used by the method test and test1 in the test file. Okay, so here, yeah, data provider name is create, and data provider class is data provider demo.class, right? Let me save this file. And now if I just run this test, you will see that the execution has been successful. So the test has been executed 4 times, and then test1 has been executed 4 times with 3 arguments, right? And test has been executed with 2 arguments. Now tomorrow, say for example, you have another method, okay, and the method is test2, right? In this case, let me change it to test2, which accepts 4 arguments. Okay, now with the same data provider, we'll do a little bit of updation. Here it accepts 4 arguments, so I'll simply append that and print the 4th argument as well. We'll simply say test1. Okay, now from the data provider, what we can do is we can simply copy this part here, okay, and we'll simply say if test equals the name of the method equals test2, then because this method accepts 4 arguments, we'll pass 4 here, right? So we'll say 4th, okay, as in string, and then the method that is accepting 4 arguments can also use same data provider and execute the test. All right, let me quickly copy that. Okay, so now if we go to the test case, so here it is test2, right? Same data provider, same class, it accepts 4 arguments. If we run it, that should run successfully as well, and we didn't have to write another data provider. You can see here that the test2 method is accepting 4 argument and has been executed successfully. So this simplifies our design a little bit, and this makes our data provider or maintaining the data in the data provider a bit easier as compared to having separate data providers for each and every test case file. So that's all about externalizing the data provider and how you can use the data provider, single data provider, for multiple methods in your test case, and how to simplify your test data management using data provider. So that's all in this tutorial. Hope you like it. Thank you very much for watching.